private dinner had been cordial. The sound of chopsticks on porcelain, the only conversation, until Hana rose from her chair so abruptly the water glass trembled.
You stole it. My mother's watch. The only thing she left me.
Kazu, is this true? You took something that belonged to her mother?
I can't marry a thief. Everyone here needs to know what kind of man he really is.
She's lying. I never touched that watch. But why? Why now?
Without a word, Kazu pulled out his phone. His thumb moved deliberately across the screen, accessing the tuition transfer and canceling the next semester's payment.
Kazu, what are you doing? Answer the accusation.
The funding stops here. You won't see another yen from me for your tuition or anything else.
Hana's face went pale. The tears abruptly stopped. Her lips parted, but no sound came out. He stood up, pushed in his chair with a quiet finality, and walked out of the private room. The only sound left was the soft click of the door closing. His phone vibrated with Hana's name over and over. He silenced it and kept walking through the cold night air.
I need proof. There were security cameras in the hallway. The restaurant must have footage.
He called the manager, explained the situation, and calmly requested the recordings from that evening. Shortly before midnight, an email arrived. The subject line read, "Security footage." The clip showed Hana at 6:47 p.m., glancing around the empty corridor, then slipping the watch into her own bag.
She planned every detail. That accusation wasn't a spur-of-the-moment lie.
He watched her adjust her hair, straighten her dress, and walk calmly toward the dinner, already rehearsing her tears.
This changes everything. I have the truth, and she doesn't know it.
On his nightstand, the phone lit up twice more with Hana's calls. He let them ring until silence returned.
He saved the file in a secure folder. The next move was his.
The next morning, Hana logged into her student portal to confirm enrollment and stared at the balance still owing.
He actually stopped the payment. The tuition deadline is tomorrow.
Kazu, please call me. We need to talk about what happened. The screen remained silent. She called, but each ring ended in his voicemail. Maybe I misplaced the watch. I might have remembered wrong. Please, just answer. Kazu read the words with cold detachment. He attached the security clip to a message and hit send.
My phone buzzed. A message from Kazu, finally.
The video played automatically. Grainy footage of a hallway, a woman with her hair, her own hands tucking the watch into her bag.
Number? No, this can't be happening. He has proof.
She tried to call again, blocked. The screen returned only message not delivered. The truth had caught her. The next morning, a frantic knocking shook his apartment door before he could finish his coffee.
Kazu, please? Hana's tuition deadline is tomorrow. She says you blocked her.
She's our only daughter. If she can't enroll, her future is ruined. Reconsider, please.
She made her choice when she lied about me in front of my father. I won't pay for that.
But it was just a misunderstanding. She panicked, that's all. You can't let one mistake destroy everything.
That mistake was a calculated attack. I have proof. The conversation ends here.
He closed the door, leaving their pleading faces in the hallway. An hour later, a different knock came.
Good morning, Kazu. I brought some lunch. I thought you might need something warm today. I always knew what kind of person you were. Honest and kind. This just proves it.
Inside the box, a heart-shaped carrot rested on the rice, a small, silent message of care.
How are you holding up? That was a lot to handle in just a day.
Honestly, I am still trying to process it all, but having you here helps.
His phone vibrated sharply against the wooden table, breaking the calm. The screen showed a new voicemail from Taro, marked with a tearful emoji. He raised the speaker to his ear, and Taro's fractured voice spilled out. Kazu, we didn't want it to come to this. Hana says the video is doctored. We're filing a defamation suit. Please don't make us go through with this.
A defamation lawsuit? They're turning my evidence against me.
Kazu, your hand is shaking. What did that message say?
He let the voicemail replay on speaker. Rika listened, her expression hardening with each word.
We won't let them bury the truth. I know a lawyer who can help.
The lawyer's office smelled of old paper and ink. Kazu and Rika sat across a mahogany desk piled with case files. A sharp-eyed attorney slid the complaint across the table. The header read, "Slander and defamation." Kazu's stomach tightened.
She's demanding 3 million yen in a public apology. That would ruin me.
It's a bluff. They want you to panic and pay. But we came here to fight back, remember?
The attorney outlined the strategy. Authenticate the video, subpoena witnesses, and force Hana to prove her claim.
I don't care how long it takes or what it costs. I won't let her rewrite the truth.
The retainer agreement was signed. His savings took a deep cut, but the case was now official.
If I lose, that video becomes the thing that buries me, but I can't let her win.
You are not alone in this. Whatever comes, we'll face it together.
They stepped into the cold dusk, a lawsuit number now attached to their names. The real battle had begun. The investigator returned with a folder. Inside, a photograph. Hana laughing with a man whose arm curled loosely around her waist. Text logs trailed behind the image. Late-night messages, transactions, dates that overlapped with Kazu's tuition payments.
All those nights, she said she was studying. All those semesters, I believed in her.
He opened his own old chat thread with Hana. Heart emoji. I can't wait for our future. And a request for next month's tuition. The photograph pinned to the folder filled in the missing detail. The man wore a silver watch, identical to the one in the video.
Kazu, that watch wasn't an heirloom. It was a gift. She built the whole accusation around it.
She planned to leave anyway. The accusation was just the cleanest way to cut me off without returning a single yen.
A second name surfaced in the call logs. Another man Hana had contacted just before the engagement was announced.
If even half of this is true, she wasn't just lying about the watch. She was lying about everything.
Then, this lawsuit isn't about her reputation. It's about covering up the fraud before we find more.
By the end of the week, they had names. 3 men, each one funding Hana's lifestyle in a different way. Bank statements from 2 of them matched travel dates with Hana. The third had sent a watch.
She was never mine. She was just rotating through wallets.
The engraving on the back spelled a name, not her mother's, but a stranger's.
She staged the theft with a prop from another man. The whole accusation was a performance.
Kazu, this is the centerpiece. Proof she used a fake heirloom to frame you for theft.
A receipt from the mall, where the watch was bought. Paid in cash 6 months ago.
She planned to leave anyway. The accusation was the clean break to keep the money.
Now we know. And we'll make sure the court knows too.
No more doubting. This is the truth, and I am going to make sure everyone sees it.
The evidence was laid out, the watch cold under the lamplight. Kazu hadn't moved in minutes.
You've been so focused on the fight. You haven't had a moment to breathe. But Kazu, there's something I need to tell you. I've loved you since we were kids. I stayed quiet because you were happy with Hana. But watching you suffer alone, I can't stay silent anymore.
Rika, all this time, she was right here, and I never saw it.
Don't feel pressured to answer. I just wanted you to know that whatever happens, you are not fighting this alone.
Rika, I don't have the words right now, but knowing you are here means more than I can say.
They sat in the quiet for a long moment. Then Kazu straightened, a new fire in his eyes.
She tried to bury me with lies. Now it's my turn. I am filing a countersuit for fraud and defamation.
I'll call the lawyer first thing in the morning. She won't know what hit her.
The decision was made. There would be no settlement, no backing down. Only the courtroom and the whole truth. The next morning, Kazu was summoned to his boss's office. An anonymous complaint awaited. Accusations of harassment and fraud.
A smear campaign. They're trying to get me fired before the trial even starts.
A termination warning landed on the desk, citing reputational harm to the company.
Every allegation in that paper is a lie. I have proof Hana orchestrated the whole thing.
Before the manager could reply, the door swung open. Kenji entered. a thick envelope in hand.
I've seen the evidence. My son was framed. The woman you are protecting is a con artist.
He laid out the security footage, the watch's receipt, and the testimony of the other men. The manager skimmed the file, his frown deepening. Then he set the warning aside and spoke quietly.
I was wrong to doubt you. Please forgive me.
They clasped hands, the forgiveness unspoken but felt. For now, his job was safe, but the trial loomed ahead. The pre-trial conference room was sterile and cold. Across the table, Hana's attorney slid a single sheet forward, the proposal. Withdraw the countersuit, pay 1 million yen in compensation, and sign a non-disclosure agreement. The case disappears entirely.
They're trying to buy my silence. Nothing more. Not a chance. I won't pay a single yen to cover her fraud, and I am certainly not signing my silence.
Taro dabbed his forehead with a crumpled handkerchief. Yuki's hands twisted in her lap. The lawyer's smile didn't reach his eyes.
Before you trust her story, ask yourselves why she claimed a watch that was never your mother's. Its receipt shows it was bought 6 months ago at a department store.
What? What do you mean? That watch belonged to my wife.
The engraving on the back, a man's name, was unmistakably not her mother's. Yuki let out a choked sob.
That's not her mother's watch. That's a stranger's name. Oh, God.
The settlement offer was withdrawn that afternoon. But the cracks in Hana's family had finally split open, and the trial was now just days away. That evening, in the quiet of his traditional home, Kenji knelt in formal seiza and bowed his head to the tatami.
I failed you as a father. I believed a stranger's tears over my own son's truth.
Between them lay a photograph from Kazu's childhood, Kenji carrying him on his shoulders at a summer festival.
He never bowed like this before. This isn't just an apology. It's the man I thought I'd lost.
Across town, Taro and Yuki stood in Hana's apartment, the watch receipt crinkled in Taro's shaking fist.
You lied to us. That watch wasn't your mother's. You used a stranger's gift to destroy an innocent man.
So what? He was just a wallet. You were drowning in debt anyway. I was building a future.
Yuki let out a wail, collapsing into a chair. Her daughter was a stranger. By morning, the story had leaked. A front-page article featured a blurred photo of Hana leaving the conference. The tide was turning, but the final battle was still ahead. The night before the trial, Kazu's apartment was cluttered with evidence bags. The silence hung heavy. A courier had left one last letter: drop the case by noon or face a malicious prosecution countersuit.
Rika took the letter and crumpled it. An intimidation tactic. They're scared.
A knock. Through the peephole, Taro's face was haggard, clutching a briefcase.
Kazu, 100,000 yen. All we have. Take it and drop the suit, please.
There's no amount of money that can undo what Hana did. I am not selling my integrity.
Then you doom us all. She'll be convicted, and our family will be ruined.
You offered him a bribe and he still chose the truth. That's why I am standing here.
Tomorrow, I'll walk into that courtroom and show them everything. No more threats, just the truth.
He packed the folder, sealed the watch, and turned off the lights. Tonight, rest. Tomorrow, truth. The courtroom was silent. Kazu sat rigid beside his lawyer. Rika was in the front row. Hana avoided his gaze. Hana's attorney rose, accusing Kazu of obsession and doctoring evidence to escape his financial obligations. Kazu's lawyer countered. Hana concocted the theft, using a fake heirloom to keep the tuition money. Kazu was called to the stand. He walked calmly, his face unreadable.
I funded her education because I believed in our future. She repaid me with a public lie.
Then Hana rose, steps hesitant, and gripped the railing with white knuckles.
He was obsessed. He said he'd ruin me if I left.
Her voice wavered under the simplest questions about the watch.
Kazu watched her tremble. The performance was almost convincing if you didn't know the truth.
The judge recessed for the day. The evidence hadn't surfaced yet, but the cracks were visible. The second day, the courtroom was charged. Kazu's lawyer stood with a tablet, ready to strike. With a click, the security footage filled the screen. The timestamp glowed 6:47 p.m. The grainy image showed Hana, alone in the hallway, sliding the watch into her bag. The court gasped. Hana turned sheet white. Her lawyer's objections died in his throat. Next, bank statements. A deposit trail leading directly from Kazu's account to her tuition, and then transfers from 2 other men. A former sponsor took the stand. He admitted he paid her rent until she found someone richer. Hana's attorney fumbled, but the judge leaned forward, staring at the receipt from the mall, the one proving the watch wasn't an heirloom. Kazu's lawyer paused the video on Hana's composed face, adjusting her hair just before the dinner.
They see the truth now. All my plans destroyed.
The evidence was in. The judge ordered a 30-minute recess. Hana's facade was crumbling. The recess ended with a crack of the gavel. The courtroom hushed as a forensic analyst stepped up with a sealed envelope. He confirmed the video was authentic. No edits, time-stamped exactly to the hallway security camera. Hana was recalled to the stand. She walked with rigid steps, her eyes fixed on the floor. The lawyer raised the silver watch, pointing to the mall receipt that proved its purchase just 6 months ago. Her voice trembled. She muttered about a mix-up, but the engraving told a different story. The judge leaned forward and warned that continuing to lie under oath would lead to perjury charges. Taro buried his face. Yuki whimpered, her handkerchief pressed to her mouth as the gallery murmured. The defense objected, but it was overruled. The courtroom waited, silence pressing down. Hana's mouth opened and closed. Her composure shattered like glass, her eyes wide with panic. The judge noted the perjury for the record. The trial would proceed, but her credibility was shattered. The pressure of the silent courtroom finally broke Hana. She slumped against the rail, shoulders heaving.
All right, I did it. I planted the watch. I made up the whole theft story.
Her voice cracked, but the words kept tumbling out, ugly and raw.
Kazu was just paying my tuition. I never loved him. He was a means to an end. There were others, men who sent money, gifts. The watch was from one of them. Not my mother's. I deserved a better life. A man who could give me what I wanted without counting pennies.
The courtroom stirred with murmurs and gasps. A single sob from the gallery pierced the silence.
It wasn't supposed to end like this. He was supposed to just go away quietly.
On the stand, she had admitted everything. The fake engagement, the multiple sponsors, the cold calculation. The confession was on the record. Hana had destroyed her own defense. The only thing left was the verdict. The judge adjusted her glasses and read from a single sheet of paper. Her voice measured and final. The original defamation suit against Kazu is dismissed with prejudice. The countersuit for fraud and malicious prosecution is upheld. Hana flinched as if struck. Her hands flew to her mouth, a strangled gasp escaping. Kazu closed his eyes. A long, shuddering breath left his body. It was over. The judge continued. Hana must repay Kazu the full tuition sum plus damages within 60 days. Hana's legs gave way. She clutched the edge of the table, her lawyer steadying her. She was shattered. The gavel struck once. The sound echoed through the silent chamber like a final heartbeat.
It's done. She won't ever hurt anyone like this again, and I have my life back.
Outside the courthouse, the late afternoon sun broke through the clouds, casting long golden shadows. Kazu stood on the courthouse steps, the verdict in his hand. And for the first time in weeks, he smiled. As Kazu started down the steps, a familiar voice called his name. Taro stumbled forward, his face tear-streaked.
Kazu, please forgive us. I was blind. I'll spend my life making up for what she did.
Kazu didn't break stride. He walked past Taro's hand falling limply to his side. At the base of the steps, Kenji waited. He gripped Kazu's hand in both of his eyes wet.
You were always the better man. I'm proud to call you my son.
Kazu nodded, a deep, unspoken understanding passing between them. Nearby, the courthouse doors burst open. Hana stumbled out, surrounded by photographers. She tried to shield her face, but the flashes caught every tear, every ruined expression. Kazu turned away and saw Rika waiting by the curb. She beamed, the sunset haloing her hair. They walked side by side into the golden afternoon, leaving the wreckage behind them. They stopped at a quiet park, cherry blossoms drifting like snow. The city noise faded to a distant hum.
I meant every word I said before the trial. I've loved you since we were kids.
Back then, I thought my life was over. But maybe this is where something new begins. They say every tragedy is just a setup for a romantic comedy. I think mine is starting right now.
Rika's eyes glistened. A tear slipped free, but she was smiling wider than the summer sky.
You are such a dork. But I've waited years to hear you say something like that.
He reached out, and their fingers intertwined. A simple, wordless promise.
This is real. Not a scheme, not a transaction, just someone who truly sees me.
They sat in the quiet, the world around them still and perfect. No more trials, no more lies, just two people at the start of something genuine. A romantic comedy finally earned. Months later, the past felt like a distant storm. Kazu and Rika had settled into a quiet, steady happiness.
You are smiling again. I missed that.
It's easy when you are around. Who knew a lunchbox could lead to this?
Their days filled with small joys, grocery runs, shared meals, whispered dreams of a future that finally felt certain. Across the city, Hana stocked shelves in a 24-hour convenience store, her designer clothes long sold.
This isn't what was supposed to happen. I was supposed to be on top.
No one recognized the woman from the headlines. She was just another clerk, invisible.
If she hadn't accused me, I might never have seen the truth, and I would have missed this.
The lawsuit money had been returned to his savings, but the real victory was the woman who had stood by him from the start.
I thought my romantic comedy was a joke. Turns out, the punchline was real love, all along.
The summer festival shimmered with lantern light and laughter. Among the crowd, Kazu and Rika walked close, the world a blur of color.
I used to come here alone and wish you were beside me. Now you are.
As the first fireworks streaked upward, he pulled her gently into his arms. The bang of color overhead felt like punctuation.
They say a romantic comedy needs a perfect moment. I think this qualifies.
You are supposed to be kissing the girl, not making jokes.
Who says a romantic comedy can't have both?
She met him halfway, and the world around them dissolved into silent, brilliant color. The crowd cheered, but neither of them heard. They were too busy starting the rest of their lives.
She accused me of theft in front of my dad, and I stopped funding her. I never thought it'd lead here, to the real love of my life.
And so, the curtain fell on a love story that began with a lie and ended with a truth brighter than any firework.